Welcome to Lamwyk Digital, introduced by moderator Ed Goodchild.
Hello and welcome to Lamwyk Digital. This is a new series of videos where we're introducing speakers who can help guide our community by benefit of their knowledge and expertise. We start with Alistair Winter, who is a well-known economist and strategist, and indeed is a member of Lamwyk. And he's going to give us some pointers about where he thinks the economy is at the moment, but probably most importantly, what's likely to be coming down the pipe in the future.
I'm going to talk about three things today. I'd like to share my thoughts with you, and I hope it will help you make up your own mind on these matters. The first one is that the virus will be tamed. The second one is, but this will be at a terrible cost. And less important is that the market turmoil is far from over. Let's start with the virus. And I'm using the word tamed because it's probably not going to be completely defeated. It's not going to go away like SARS did. If you remember a few years ago, that was a big problem. But, and we're far from out of trouble as the daily death toll still going up as we talk today. But immunity is building in the community. I think there's quite a lot of evidence that actually more people have had it. There's quite a lot of medical controversy, and I am not qualified to comment on that apart from noting that there is a controversy. But what we do know is that when any virus like this, a serum is developed fairly quickly, and we're probably talking about a few weeks, which will actually be a cure, not perhaps for everyone, alas, but for most people. A vaccine is going to take longer. We're talking about months there. And I think the big question that's still open is whether there'll be a second or third wave. And we just don't know. There's just not enough information. But just to finish on the virus, I think we know how it will end. It's just still not clear when it will happen. The second thing is I want to talk about the cost. Now, there are all sorts of fancy forecasts from everyone, and I'm not big on precise forecasts. To my mind, I like to think of things being very bad or very good. And this one, I'm afraid, is very bad. And in particular, I don't want to talk so much about GDP as about people. There's a chart here. It's on America. It shows that people basically have no reserves. They're going to run out of money very fast. Nearly half of Americans have no reserves, which is a pretty shocking figure. So it's going to be very wide-ranging and affect a lot of people. Turning to companies, that's the second chart, and there's an astonishing figure there of companies that don't think they can last more than, I think it's 70%, it says, more than 6 months before they run out of, they basically go bust. And this has horrendous implications for sales networks, supply chains, and of course you come back to jobs. So we're going to have no quick recovery. There's no, whatever economists say, you can't make up for, in the developed economies like ours, for the loss of the output in services, and that's chart 4. Again, you can see and this may affect many of you listening, the damage to the professional services sector. The real damage, of course, long-term damage, is to confidence, consumer confidence, business confidence. Consumers won't spend, business won't invest, people won't borrow. And that's really going to cast a big shadow on things. We are talking about years. We're not talking about recession for years, but we're talking about loss of confidence. And that I would expect to feed into markets. There was a first panic reaction when they decided the virus was really going to cause a lot of problems. And this exposed a technical problem on a shortage of dollars. Well, more than technical, but a shortage of dollars. Everyone wanted dollars at once, which caused a great deal of panic in the market. But actually, to give them their due, the Fed stepped up with that. Okay, so it's a bleak outlook, short term. What I personally find really interesting is what's going to happen longer term. Debates about the role of the state, social issues, income inequality, public services, and of course, climate change. And the UK, of course, will really have to decide whether it wants to keep talking tough about Brexit. So I'll end on a hopeful note. I'm hoping millennials, many of whom are you listening, and Generation Z, my kids, are going to give us oldies a hard time and demand some real change. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much indeed, Alistair, for your insights into the economy and what we can expect to coming down the pipe shortly. We have a whole series of these videos lined up from our experts, and they have views that I think will be really important for us to share. Indeed, if you'd like to share your expertise, do please get in touch, because we are always looking to widen our reach. Thank you very much indeed for listening, and we look forward to getting back to you shortly.